Hello there, and welcome back to another edition of Ask the Italian Lawyer, presented by ItalianRealEstateLawyers.com as well as ItalianCitizenshipassistance.com. Of course, we are back at it again with Italian attorney Marco Permunian, and I am Rafael Di Furia. And in today's episode, we wanted to ask Marco a little bit more about renting property in Italy. And the question for Marco today has to do with the duration of contracts in Italy. How long do they normally last? And what is the duration of a normal term contract in Italy?
Unless we are talking about a tourist destination, you will find that there are two types of standard agreements that are very common in Italy, which are respectively a 3 + 2 years agreement and a 4 + 4 year agreement. That means that in the case of the 3 + 2 years agreement, the landlord has the ability to terminate the agreement only after 3 years have passed, unless, of course, there is some other reasons, like reasons that justify an eviction. But otherwise, the natural termination of the agreement can only be requested or exercised after the 3 years or 2 years, respectively, have passed in the case of the 3 + 2 years agreement, or after the first 4 years or the last 4 years in the case of the 4 + 4 agreement. So that landlord doesn't have the ability to request that the tenant moves out of the apartment unless it's done after 3 or 4 years, respectively. On the other hand, the tenant, of course, has the ability to terminate the agreement by giving notice, and the notice required is normally 6 months. So even if the tenant enters into a 4 + 4 years agreement, if after 3 months or 6 months or 18 months or 2 years, if they don't like the apartment anymore, if they need to move out for other reasons, if they need to move to different cities, they can just give notice and terminate the agreement by doing so.
Well, thank you so much, Marco, for answering this question and shedding a little bit more light on life in Italy, as well as some of the legalities of what you might be able to expect. And of course, if you're interested in more like this about Italian real estate, be sure that you're subscribed to the Italian Real Estate Podcast that can also be found on the same YouTube channel as this video, or you can find the podcast on your favorite podcasting player of choice. But again, we have been here again with Italian attorney Marco Permunian. I'm Rafael Di Furia, and this has been another episode of Ask the Italian Lawyer, presented by ItalianRealEstateLawyers.com as well as ItalianCitizenshipAssistance.com. Stay safe and healthy out there. See y'all next time. Later.
Thank you.